You don't really think, like, where do these guns come from? You don't think that.
It is a harsh reality Rashandra Burnett has lived for 20 years.
But then being in my position and being in that position is kind of like, oh, they come from me.
Federal court records tell the story. In 2002, as a college student, a classmate approached her.
He was a really nice guy, but it was just like,
there was something about him that...
yeah, like, you're gonna do it.
The favor was to go to a nearby gun store and make a purchase for him.
My regular questions were, why do you need to? And, you know, his response was more like, because he already had one, he couldn't, you know, necessarily get it.
What her classmate didn't tell her, and she later learned from federal ATF agents, was that he and a gun store owner were part of a gun trafficking ring, sending weapons to a street gang in New Jersey, and he needed her to be a straw buyer. A straw buyer is a person who buys guns on behalf of someone who can't, for reasons like having a felony on their record.
In that moment, it was like, I'm legal, I'm a citizen, you know, not thinking like, there are probably bad people trying to do bad things.
Court records show in 2 trips to the gun store, Rashandra signed paperwork for a total of 40 firearms that her classmate paid cash for on the spot. She later told federal agents she didn't know that she bought so many because her classmate handled them when they were picked up. She says she felt uneasy about signing the form that said she was buying guns for herself.
Chick did sign my life away, basically, and handed him the note, so I just, you know, went and sat in the car.
Rashandra may have been a pawn, but to law enforcement, not a victim. She pleaded guilty to 2 felonies for lying on the gun purchase form.
It's frequent that the person doesn't think they're doing anything wrong and they're actually committing a felony.
ATF Special Agent David Booth said his agency had more than 1,000 straw purchasing cases nationwide last year. He showed us these 2 weapons that were seized in an investigation as examples of the kind of illegal firepower straw purchasing can put on the streets. Federally, buying a gun for someone who can't carries a maximum 10-year sentence.
The impact is that this is just one way that someone who's prohibited can get a firearm.
ATF says they don't keep official stats on the gender of straw purchasers, but says in many cases women are recruited.
And these women, in exchange for love or just a little bit of money, will go ahead and do this favor, not knowing what the repercussions are to themselves and to the community.
Chet Y is with Operation Lipstick. The group teaches women to not be pressured into buying guns for others.
They can be empowered to be disruptors. And that's what we should focus on. Empowering women to disrupt this thing.
Rashandra received probation. Today she's working toward her master's, but must live with a felony on her record.
In hindsight, looking back, you think about all these things, but it's like, wow, I don't know how many other lives that I probably, you know, have taken.
A difficult story from her past, she hopes today will stop others from taking a place along the pipeline of illegal guns in America.